No, he was sick. He wasn't no good. He was sick. Yeah, he was sick all week.
So who died in Dewan's family now?
I hope you talking about my son.
Oh, he's on. He's at church.
He said he had a funeral today.
Oh yeah, funeral.
You know, funeral started at 7 in the morning.
Yeah. He told me yesterday. He said, "You know, black funerals last 5 hours, right?"
Are you fucking kidding me? He told me that yesterday.
He ain't kidding. It lasts a couple hours.
Well, I'm sure all funerals, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Right, they all last for a while. Stay for that long.
And all that.
When I go to my family, I just yeah, depends on how this
You got to
be today.
what he said if you go to the repast and all that.
Yeah, you go to the repast and all that. It can last all day.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not saying that. I don't know.
They started at 7 though?
The party after my funeral is gonna last a whole week, fellas.
They can have the wake and start from 9 or whatever. I don't know who died though.
I'm gonna be late to my own funeral.
I don't know who died. Who did he say died?
Was it his nephew?
Yeah,
A pastor or something like that.
Once at work,
Huh?
his drive.
Might have been a grandma again.
Man,
She's like 3 times.
my mama did that.
Yeah, his work ethic died.
He done killed my mama 5 times. But now he killed my mama.
3 or 4.
3 or 4 times he killed my mama. But this time he really
Dude, there was
For
one
sure
year,
3.
a couple years ago, I thought your whole family was extinct.
I
Does DJ will always have a funeral?
That's DJ.
Yeah.
That ain't all of us now.
Dude.
Don't put all of us in that
Well,
category.
no, everybody that's passed away has been in his family.
That's what he
So
said.
it was like there was one
Everybody-
year where he had like
You
10
died
deaths back to
twice.
back. I was like,
You died twice.
I told Charles that his son Chris has to show up for work. All the toe tags are gone. There's none left to use.
Guys, I'd love to just continue talking. Man, that's fun. But yeah, we got to get going here. We're a little late because I was having trouble with the computer trying to get it on broadcast. So, do you know we have anybody watching?
not that I'm aware of.
No.
Unless they're watching it.
So we're missing Chris. That's it.
No,
Yeah.
a lot
No,
more.
we're missing a lot of people.
Chris, Thomas.
Chris Tenner, Ray, Ladner.
Quite a few.
Dan
I'm
Stone.
gonna have to talk to Scott and see.
Ray's on his way to.
'Cause I've told
Ray's
these
on his
guys
way to
every
Fort Wayne
time,
right now.
every month, and they just kind of pick and choose.
There'll be a note up every day.
I'll get with Scott this evening and see if we can't get this worked out.
I send that to him too. So I'll just kind of
Yeah.
point out that
He always questions people for not showing up, but there's no action for it, so.
Okay. Well, this month we're gonna do driving safety. So, I know you said you got a trip to Louisville, so this is perfect timing for you, right? You
Yeah.
practice it. You got 2-hour practice ahead of you. So, excellent. So driving safety, let's talk about this for just a little bit as far as, how serious of a problem this is. You know, when you talk about, when you look at the statistics for fatalities in the workplace, and I don't know if I've said this before or not, but the leading cause of death in the workplace actually is driving. Have I said that before?
No.
No? Yeah. If you look at falls are the biggest when you take the top 2 out. A lot of people take the top 2 out for whatever reason, but the top one is driving. The second one actually is workplace violence. Believe that? Kind of crazy, isn't it? You wouldn't think that, but workplace violence is number 2, followed by falls, and then down from that. So statistically, as far as how often does someone die, how often does one of these fatalities occur? Not talking about workplace, just vehicle fatalities, 1 every 13 minutes.
Wow.
So 1 every 13 minutes, okay? So that's 4 at least, just in the time we'll be here talking today. That's it. So, big problem, okay? I want to also kind of ask you guys to do this real quick. I want you to stop and think about your driving habits. And I want you to rank yourself 1 to 10.
8. 9.
4
and a half.
We got a 4 over here. Very humble person, I like that.
At least 9. I get lost all the time.
At least a 9.
Well, I get lost all the time, so
5?
I'll make it there.
Well, some of you think, you know, you're a good driver, some of you self-admit that you're not so good.
I'm a great driver, it's the shit that I'm doing while I'm driving that ain't so good.
That's not so good.
Yeah, it's the other people.
It's people around you, there you go. So yeah, I tell you, when I first went, you know, when I first secured my job with Military Line as their safety director, I got a company vehicle, and they handed me the keys and they said, hey, you're gonna teach driving safety training to all of our people. And you're gonna use what's called the Smith system. That's what we do here. I'm like, okay. So I sat through this class, and the instructor asked me, said, you know, ask everybody, rank yourself, 1 to 10. And then we sat through the class, and at the end, he asked us to re-rank ourselves, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way. I was what I thought I was. When I sit and listen to all the things I really should be doing, and then I reflect on how I really drive, I'm like, yeah, no, probably not as good as I think I am. I think, if memory serves me right, I said I was an 8. But after the class, I'm like, yeah, probably about a 5. So, I mean, in all reality, you know, I mean, because I didn't do everything I should. And still, even today, I'm human. I'm not perfect. But I'm a lot better than I used to be, that's for sure. We all have autopilot mode. Some of us drive in it more than others, but you know what I mean by that?
What you mean?
No.
We know,
that's not that.
For that one.
No. Yeah, you just slid 2 points down that scale. But, no, autopilot mode.
You're 6.
Okay, so let me ask this question. This will put it into focus for you. So who here drove, how far do you guys live from here?
South side for the most part.
I live for east.
So what, 40 minutes?
About 25.
25, so 30 minutes, right? Roughly, for everybody? Okay?
2 minutes.
2 minutes for you, hey, lucky you. So in that amount of time, that it took you to drive here today, how much of that time were you actually thinking about driving?
Probably 0.
Oh,
I'm thinking, get out of my way, I'm late.
Yeah.
No shit, that's what I was thinking.
About work.
It's 16.
Which lane are you choosing there, bud?
But that's thinking about driving, but focusing on what you're doing, but how much of that time, I mean, weren't you thinking about other things?
All the time.
What you got going on today,
Think about
maybe
it.
the weekend, things that happened last night, other things going on. Yeah, absolutely, right? I could tell you, me driving here, and I'm a safety geek, right? I didn't think, and I only live about 30-ish minutes away, so I can't think of it the whole time. It's because we're not made that way. Even when you're at work cleaning windows, you're still thinking about other things, right? Mm-hmm. You're in autopilot mode. You're resulting to your habits, whatever habits those are, okay? And if you have good driving habits, you're going to default to being a pretty good driver, even though you're not necessarily intently thinking about what you're doing. If you have bad habits, you're going to default to those bad habits, right? That's just what's going to happen. So, but I can tell you, for me, from my standpoint, I can definitely say that habits can change. Okay, when I came to Miller and they gave me the keys, and I started driving, and I told you I said I was an 8, and then I realized I'm a 5. Well, my autopilot mode was 5, for sure. But over time, after I realized, okay, so I realized what I need to do to get better and improve, I really started to try to work on those things. Because I realized, here I am, a safety guy, telling other people how to drive, and if I have a vehicle accident in a company truck, how many people are going to listen to me? 0, right? So I have to be careful and truly practice what I preach. So I started really trying to work on those habits, and I think over time it really has helped me. I mean, I notice even still today,
a lot of the things that I kind of adjusted when I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking about driving, right? I'm usually doing pretty good, but as my mind drifts, and then I snap back to, oh my gosh, you know, I've been thinking about whatever for a while and trying to reevaluate, like, how am I doing? A lot of times I'm still doing a good job, even when I'm not truly just focused at that time. So the key really is trying to reprogram your autopilot, so to speak. Okay? If you can do that, you're gonna help yourself a ton.
I think I can relate to what you're saying. I've actually thought about stuff before and be where I was going in no time, not even realize I was already there.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I'm already here.
Yeah. Where was that?
Yeah,
and you even think back, like, I don't even remember that part of the
you don't
trip.
even remember the drive.
Right.
Hardly.
Because your mind is somewhere else. We talked about this already, 13 minutes, every 13 minutes. A couple other things. One is, who do you think the most common victim is?
Motorcycle.
Okay, so you think it's a motorcyclist, passenger, bicyclist, pedestrian, or the driver?
Pedestrian.
Pedestrian? So we got, okay, ready?
Wow.
Driver, 52%. So 52% of auto fatalities are actually drivers, the driver themselves. So it's you. Yeah, it affects other people. You could hit a bicyclist, a pedestrian, somebody else, but most of the time, it's you. That's whose life that, you know, statistically is the biggest at stake. Where do you think on a vehicle collisions occur the most? Do you think it's the back, the front, the sides, somewhere else?
The back.
I say side.
Back, side,
I say front.
front. Okay, we got all sides covered. Are you ready? So I took two companies. This one of them is the company I used to work for. Another is a company that I'm working with now as a consultant. And these are their stats. Number one is the back. Hey, all right. So backing, you know, with this company it's 50%. With the other company it's 34%. But regardless, number one both ways. And statistics range in there, but backing usually is the number one type of vehicle accident, okay, that you'll come into. Now, I will say that with backing, usually it's not high severity, right? You don't have a lot of fatalities happen or serious injuries with backing. It's more like dents, whatever. Although you could, I went to college with a girl. This is a sad story. And her husband was backing out of the driveway and ran over the kid.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So backing can be serious, but merging and intersections for this company is number two. This company, it's number three. The next one is rear-ending, and then other weird random things. But here's the thing, when you look at this, thanks, sir. When you look at this, you'll see 92%. 92% are those three things right there. So if you were to just take like a few things, the key things right here, and practice those, if you really just boil it down, you can reduce your chance of collision by 92%. That's pretty good, right? So there's really a few key things within those that if you really take a practice, I think it'd help you a ton. A couple other things, rear end collisions, 29% of the vehicle fatalities, okay? This is frequency. This has nothing to do with, all right, these aren't fatalities, these are just total accidents. This is the severity part of it. So while rear end collisions with them is pretty low, number two here, it's really the leader is basically, you know, rear-ending somebody. All right, that's your biggest chance of getting hurt or somebody getting hurt, killed. And side collisions is number two. So let's start with frequency-wise. The leader, we'll talk about backing. So I want to ask you, start off by asking you, how can you prevent a backing collision?
paying attention to your surroundings.
Okay?
I usually back into a parking spot, so it's easier to pull out.
Good. So, let me show you this real quick. Let's say this is a store,
Either way, you're backing.
and let's say you got vehicles parked all the way through. Where do most people park?
Closest to the store.
That's right. Majority of people are gonna park right here,
Walk way up.
okay?
Back.
And, really, I would say the best place is right here. Okay? Let me make a true statement, and you try to prove it wrong, okay? If you don't back, you'll never have a backing collision. Can you prove that wrong?
Got you. I see.
Can't prove that wrong, can you? That's a true statement. If you don't back, you'll never have a backing collision. Okay? So think about that. If our top frequency is backing, how can we park to avoid backing? How can we try to avoid backing at all times? Well, yeah, don't back, right. So now, I will say that there are times when you have to, at least one way or the other, somehow, back into the space. You're going to be in reverse. But there are opportunities where you can avoid it like this, okay? So instead of parking here, which you either pull in and back out or back in and pull out, you can do what's called pull through drive-through. Yep. So you pull through, you stop, get out of your vehicle, go into the store, come back, keep on driving. Never back up. It's a nice way to do it. To avoid backing. Also, you can use this like, you guys go to the gas station a lot? I mean, obviously we all do, but how about like, you ever go in to just get a Gatorade? Not gas? Or a roller dog? Who said that?
That's my part too.
Okay, so, right, if you park at the pump, you can get out and keep going too, right? Now, if it's busy, it's rush hour, people are waiting in line, and you're doing that, you're gonna catch some stares. Yeah. But hey, in the middle of the day, you got 10 pumps and 7 of them are open. No one's gonna care.
I look at it as they don't know if you're going in to pay for gas.
They don't know. No, they don't.
Figure it out when you come
No.
in, just jump in your truck.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you can park at the pump. If it's busy and it's like, man, it's a wait to get here, or I'm not gonna be rude because there's only one spot and people are waiting. What you can do is park at the curb. So a lot of, it's where the phones used to be. I used to say like out where the payphones are. They don't even have payphones anymore, most of the time. But, out where the curb is, maybe they have mulch there or whatever, just pull up and curbside park, get out and go, and then get back in and get rolling. But those are ways that you can try to park to avoid backing. Now, that's priority one. And if you can do that, you won't have a backing collision. I think I can safely say that. However, when you get into situations like this, now, you're gonna have to use reverse to either come in, do back in or back out. So let's stop and go back to what you said. If I go to this space, all right, and let's say that I pulled in, how well can I see when I'm backing out?
It's not very good.
Not very good because I'm blocked here, I'm blocked here. And am I pulling into an area that is constantly changing?
High traffic.
Yeah. Vehicles, people. It's moving. So I got a moving area that I'm backing into that I can't really see well. Not a good recipe, right? Now, let's flip that. Let's say that I backed in. Now,
here's the reservation. My wife, she still doesn't back into spaces, man. And I'm always like,
She can't back into the driveway.
yeah, no. My kids call our trash cans crash cans. No joke. Okay, that's why we got ruts in the yard, because of her. So, anyway, if you were to back into the space, the hesitation, according to my wife, is, man, it's a tight space, and I can't really.
You see the new
It's
parking
tough,
spots
right?
they got now,
What's that?
extra wide for women.
Extra wide? All right.
Van accessible.
But the benefit is, here's the main benefit, is that, yeah, you back out into a wider space, I agree, than instead of a tighter space, but what's gonna change in here? Nothing. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe a car door opens while you're backing, but odds are of that person being in that car opening the car door at that time, very slim, and if they are, they would probably see you backing, not guaranteed, but the odds of that happening are slim than none. So you're backing into a space that's probably not going to change, it's static, okay? And if you can train yourself to back up into that space, then when you pull out, you're pulling out and you can see, well, you know, definitely a safer way to go.
No, I was just gonna say, I came back up here, I got witnesses, so.
19-point turn.
Charles, you can't drive forward, bro.
Yeah, but I was saying, though, I heard on Bob and Tom that this company in another state somewhere has started extra wide parking spots for women. They're gender parking spots.
Are they outlined in pink?
Yeah, it's been on Bob and Tom for a couple days now.
Huh.
Women only?
Women parking spots.
Yes. They even got what's on the bathroom door for women, the little lady with the dress.
So if a man parks in there, is that illegal?
My lady will be out in like 1 minute.
Wow.
I just was listening to it this morning.
That's interesting. That's
yesterday.
really
They
interesting.
ain't a joke, Bob.
Nah, they.
You know what Bob and Tom is.
Oh, there's everybody's pissed off because you know the bigger women thought of it as something stupid. Yeah.
But if you get out of your vehicle.
And then of course women's like, oh well, we can drive just as good as men does.
Right.
Which is definitely not true.
So when I showed up and they talked about the Smith system, okay, the Smith system is based on 5 things, and we're going to go through these with backing and then with forward motion real quick. So the Smith system is based on 5 things. It's called aim high in steering, which basically means, in short, plan ahead, think ahead, okay, look ahead, get the big picture, is try to gather information, okay, try to gather information so you can make a good decision. Keep your eyes moving, don't fall into a stare, try not to, okay? Leave yourself an out, meaning if something happens, what are you going to do defensively to react? And then make sure they see you, make sure others see you, right? Another defensive mechanism. So it's kind of proactive driving, but with a defensive component to it, all right? So aim high in steering, get the big picture, keep your eyes moving, leave yourself an out, make sure they see you. We're going to go through one by one. The way that you can aim high in steering, plan ahead, think ahead when backing is to try to park to avoid backing. We just talked about that. Curbside, back in, pull through. The way you can get the big picture, gather information, is if, let's say that, well, I don't need to draw it, but let's say that you're in an angled parking lot. Okay? You guys know these, right? Angled parking lots? And traffic's really designed to go this way and this way. So if you were to pull through park there, it's kind of spitting you out against the grain in traffic. Now, can you do that and then carefully go this way? Yeah, it's hard. I do it, it's hard. But you could. You just go against traffic. Yeah. But what if they put a parking block in? now you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can't do it, right?
Bunch of pink parking spaces.
So in an angled parking lot with parking blocks, you're stuck. And you're probably, and you can't really back into that space. It'd probably be tougher to do than just do, they design them this way so you can see better behind you. Makes sense. So in that spot, it is better to pull in probably, but that would be limited. Now let's say you're out on a job and you can't really, for whatever reason, you just can't do it. Let's say you're downtown, because you guys go downtown a lot, right? And you're parking on the curb next to a meter or something. Do you do that much? Once in a while? So you're parking next to a meter, you gotta kinda, parallel park here, you're stuck, right? And you're gonna have to pull out. Or maybe you gotta back out of the space. What I would say is if you're forced to back at all, a good practice to get into is to do what's called a circle of safety, which means walk around the vehicle real quick. I would especially encourage that if you're ever in a residential area with kids playing. And here's why.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's right. No.
No.
This picture was taken in Cincinnati by an employee of Duke Energy. Duke requires their employees to do the circle of safety before they drive any direction, whether it be forward or backward. So they got to walk around the vehicle once before they get in and drive, just to make sure they fully see everything around them, because sometimes things change. Okay. As this employee was walking around the vehicle, they started hearing something, and they came up to this front wheel well. This baby was stuck in there crying. If he would have just gotten in there and maybe not heard that kid, it would have
crushed him when he sat down in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he would have. Right.
That's crazy.
So that's a situation where a kid's life was saved because they walked around. Now, you get in the habit of doing that every time. It's up to you. It's a great habit.
Straight cat.
It's a great habit. But I will say, if you're in a residential area with kids around and you've been parking there, I would highly encourage it. Really. Even not knowing, maybe a kid's just playing out in front of your car, maybe you don't know that. You know what I mean? So, good thing to get into. Avoid congested parking areas, avoid turning while backing. There's one other thing about backing is a lot of people will start their backing, put it in reverse and start to turn immediately. And when they do that, the front end will whip and they'll hit a car beside it. That happens a lot. So you want to, if you have to back, try to back and then turn.
Wait for your front end to clear.
Yeah, you got to kind of wait till you're at least halfway out of the space before you clear and then turn. Scan all your mirrors while backing. This is a picture of a guy named Stephen Curtis Chapman. He's a Christian singer. This was his daughter. And the same thing happened here that I shared with you a second ago about my college friend. His son, his younger son, this was an adopted daughter there, he ran over this girl and killed her, backing out of the driveway. So, rough situation, but again, these types of things happen. I sure don't want anything like that to happen to you. One other thing that you can do is back slow. If you have to back slow, right? If you think about it, and unless it's a person, if you're backing at a very slow rate, the damage is going to be minimal versus gunning it as you back. So, ideally, you're backing with your foot on the brake, ready to stop immediately, going at a slow rate of speed, and then in it. This is the only way to make sure they see you. I wouldn't really recommend this, but Smith System would tell you, sound your horn before you back. I don't do that, but. All right, so flipping to forward motion. So same keys, same principles, but as far as how do you apply that to forward motion, one is if we could try to get our eyes pushed down the road to gather information long before we get there, then we're going to be better off and better prepared to make a decision, right? So Smith tells us, look way down the road. Look for red lights ahead. Look for cars with turn signals. Look for what's going on. Do you have somebody on a sidewalk that's walking, getting ready to cross the street? Just trying to keep our eyes moving and look ahead will help us make better decisions. Also monitor the point of no return. When you guys go through an intersection, there's a point where if it turns yellow, you're gonna still go, you're committed, right? Do you pay attention to that? Sometimes. When we're in autopilot,
Every time the yellow light comes on, I ask myself, go or stay, go or stay.
Which side do I go?
I'm going.
I'm out there already. If you're out there, I ain't
So-
stopping.
But I still look at the picture of.
scan, good. Scan both ways, yep, before you cross that intersection. Ideal way to go through an intersection is this. As you're approaching an intersection, you're actually looking at the light, not staring at the light. You still gotta look at the traffic in front of you, but you're kind of monitoring the light and the traffic, right? But you're intentionally saying, now. Now is the time where it doesn't matter what happens, I'm going. If it turns yellow, I'm going. I'm committed. So knowing, just intentionally thinking about that, and then you can take your eyes off the light, forget about the light, and then scan. Right. So I'm going now. Scan, scan. Make sure nobody's blowing that intersection. Okay, it's safe. Wait, here he comes. So that's kind of, the way to go through intersections as well. How do you adjust your mirrors? Is there a right way?
Yeah.
Blind spot.
There's not a blind spot. You eliminate your blind spot.
You adjust them correctly, you shouldn't see the back end of your car. They should be stuck out far enough where all you see is the lane next to you.
That's right. That is correct. I'm hoping this thing will play. Sometimes this computer, I was trying to get my computer to go because it's better with videos, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll play in just a second. Sometimes it's a little slow, but yeah, you're right. So if ideally you eliminate the blind spot the best you can. So a lot of people, like my wife,
Do you know the old adage, you have to look before you leap? Well, the same applies to driving. You need to see where you're going to get there safely. And on today's autofocus, I'm going to show you how to properly adjust your side view and your rear view mirror. Yeah, seems simple enough. You adjust your mirrors till you can see behind you and everything's great. But there is a technique so you can see into those blind spots behind your car and see that car coming up behind you. Now the proper way to adjust your driver's side view mirror is to lean your head all the way over till just about till you touch the glass like this. Then adjust your mirror until you just see beyond your car. You should just see just that little sliver. You shouldn't see that. You're going to adjust just beyond that. What that's going to allow you to do is to see past that blind spot. You don't need to see your car, you need to see the lane next to you and to see the car that's in it. Now with the passenger side view mirror, you want to lean as far over towards the center as you can and adjust that mirror till you see just beyond your car. That will allow you to see into that 3/4 view blind spot on your passenger side. Now for the rear view mirror, a lot simpler. Most people do this right. Obviously you just want to adjust it till you see right behind you. If you're in that Jeep right there and you want to be in this turn lane, what do? You check your side view mirror, you don't see a car there, and you pull on in. And then suddenly, boom, there's a car there. Now, if your mirror was adjusted properly, this is what you would have seen. Take a moment, adjust your mirrors properly. A well-adjusted mirror can actually save your life. I'm Ben Italis with this week's Autofocus.
That was a good example of it, but yeah, I mean that's how I try to do it, is just lean, go out past your vehicle, lean past your vehicle, and then you're seeing beside you. That's what you need for behind you. And you really shouldn't have too much of a blind spot. You still have some.
I remember that when I took my my driver's test, the lady actually told me about the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I learned that, but she also told me that they still recommend you to give it a once over.
Still look, and that's exactly what I would
make the change.
Yeah, because even what you just saw, you do extend out, but you don't really.
Right.
I mean, you can't see right here but yet out of your peripheral, you can't see it either. So you do need to check still, before you go. Yep. So good. Keep our eyes moving. We talked about scanning intersections, trying not to fall into a stare. Changing lanes. Let's talk about changing lanes real fast. So when I change a lane, what are some things I need to do?
Signal.
Signal. When? When should I signal?
Before you switch over.
Before I switch over. And when should I switch over? I'm just backing up on you here.
They say to give it what, like a minute or something like that, 2 minutes or something before you switch lanes?
Yeah, well, yeah, you want to try to change lanes well before you get to the point where you need to change lanes, right? So where a lot of people change lanes is like, you know, the half-mile marker. Like, oh, I need to get over now. Well, if that lane's backed up, you are screwed, right? So, you know, it's good to try to look ahead and think, man, okay, I know my exit's coming up here. It's in a couple miles, but I'm gonna go ahead and get over now. You know, I got a good spot. Yeah. So, trying to change well in advance, using our turn signal, okay? But then the other thing is, here's a little tip that a lot of people don't do, is when you change the lane, do you drift or do you just go?
I got it.
You gun it. Okay. So if you gun it, and whip over, and there's somebody
Depends on what kind of situation it is.
in that spot, then you're gonna hit them. Am I right? I mean, if hopefully your lanes or your mirrors are adjusted properly, and you looked, but still, if you missed, you're human, and you just go, you're not giving anybody any time to adjust. Whereas instead, if you were to drift, okay, and I'm right next to you in your blind spot, I can back up, I can honk the horn, I can kind of move over, I can let you know, like, hey, I'm here, right? So those types of things, you know, not only the signal, but planning ahead, drifting over, that helps. What'd you say?
So I guess he's done.
Oh, he had to leave for, yeah. Okay, there's 15 minutes left. We got a late start. We already talked about that. Okay, I got a video I want to show you that's 10 minutes long. So let me just talk about this last point, and then we're going to show that video.
I think I've seen that.
This picture?
Is that recent?
No.
This year, recent.
They had something like that last night.
Yeah, what was it, like 8 semis?
It was mostly all tractors and trailers running into each other just last night.
8 semis?
Is the one in West Virginia?
Well, these pileups, what's the problem? I mean, I got it right up there.
Following too close together.
Somebody's tailgate?
Because it's a chain reaction, right?
Yeah.
My tailgate.
Yeah. You got a bunch of cars all packed together. Something happens to this one, no one's going to stop in time, and it's just going to keep going until somebody was following a decent distance away that can stop and break that chain reaction.
And everybody else will follow that one person.
Mm-hmm. And that actually happened to me. And I was driving back from Columbus, Ohio when I was with Miller Pipeline, and I'm driving back on 70, and I was probably, I was still in Ohio. So, past Dayton, just past Dayton, leaving Ohio, getting ready to come into Indiana, and there was a vehicle that had to stop and basically caused a reaction. Now, it wasn't serious. I mean, it was enough to where, 911 was called and there were some cars bashed up, but nobody lost their life. But I was actually the one in my lane to break that chain reaction. And the reason was I had plenty of distance. So, tailgating, remember, number one fatality cause is rear-ending somebody or getting rear-ended, right? So just allowing yourself enough time not only allows you to not hit somebody else, but it allows you to stop at a decent time so that person behind you doesn't hit you either. It protects you as well as them. You get what I'm saying? So, tailgating. This is one of the things I can tell you when I first started driving that I said, oh, I'm an 8. Smith System says you should follow 4 seconds behind the vehicle in front of you. Okay, that's a little different than what most of us have been taught. You've probably been taught either car links,
2 car links.
yeah, a couple
But
car
2
links,
seconds.
or
That's
a
smart,
car
though.
length per 10 miles an hour.
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
If it takes your car 4 seconds to get to 60 miles an hour, you gotta give it 4 seconds to stop from 60 miles an hour.
right. Yeah, exactly. That's right. But yeah, and this is a way, you know, instead of car links, like, okay, well, I'm going, like a lot of people say, you gotta have a car link for every 10 miles an hour you're going. Well, don't you adjust your speed? And then like, okay, well, I'm leaving town, so I'm going up to 55, so I got 5.5 car links.
Nobody
can you
better cut me
eyeball-
off.
How can you
Keep
eyeball
getting
that?
pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time somebody gets in front of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
gotta relax, huh?
now somebody cuts you, so, okay, how many car lengths now? I mean, it's too much. No one's gonna be able to do that. So, what Smith System says is use seconds instead. It's a lot easier. So all you gotta do is just, that vehicle in front of you, it passes something stationary, whether it be a telephone pole, street sign, goes under a bridge. You could even use stripes in a road, like it, you know, past that stripe, okay, start counting, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Should take that long for you to pass that same object, right? And if you're following that distance back, you got enough time to stop. So that's kind of what they say.
That's why I said I'm a 40.
When I got in my car after taking this class and realizing this, I realized my autopilot was about 2 seconds. That's where my comfort zone was. And the funny thing was, is I started driving and I pushed myself back to 4, and I'm like, man, this is a ways back. This is a long ways back. I feel like I'm, you know, but I try to maintain that distance, right? And then I'd start thinking about something else. What happened?
Here you go.
Creeping up, yeah. And then I'd snap out of it and realize, okay, how am I doing? I'm plastered to the back of this car. And so I'd have to push myself back. And it was like a constant battle. But what I noticed was I really started working on it because I wanted to maintain that safe distance. And I don't know, probably took me 3 solid months of working on it. But one day I kind of was driving and snapped out of thinking about whatever I was thinking, and I'm like, hey man, I'm actually 4 seconds back. And now I can tell you it's the opposite. If I'm actually thinking about something else and somebody pulls in front of me and cuts off my 4 seconds, it will make me snap out of what I'm thinking and I get uncomfortable. It's almost like we're talking and we got the, you know, there's that personal space boundary. We're all a little different, you know. Somebody gets within that personal space and you're like, that's what it feels like to me when someone's within that 4 second range. I feel uncomfortable. I want to back up a little bit. So, you know, that's it. You can definitely reprogram that autopilot. Now I'll tell you, 4 seconds again is a long way. And I'll also tell you that when you're driving 4 seconds, if you start driving 4 seconds, people around you don't understand why you're doing it. They look in front of you and say, you're not keeping up with traffic, man.
Oh, rush hour traffic?
You're driving like a grandma.
Rush hour traffic, I'm about from here to the highway behind people.
Yeah.
You ain't catching me up in that shit.
Well, and that's good, But, yeah, I mean.
I'm all in it.
But here, look, let me just make one point, okay, to make you think about this real fast, all right? I'm gonna do a little sales pitch. Hopefully this sticks with it. So, why do you tailgate? Why? Those of you who don't follow 4 seconds, what's your reason behind not doing it?
Drafting.
Behind not doing it? You can draft what? You get better fuel? Are you kidding me? I hope you're joking. What's the serious reason?
What, for to tailgate?
Yeah, I mean, what, if you
I don't
don't,
really tailgate,
if you don't follow 4 seconds back, why don't you do it?
I just push traffic out the way.
There you go.
You-
I'm pushing people
Well,
out the
because
way.
the thing of it is now is if you're going faster than the car in front of you, the law is they're
They
supposed
have
to
to
move.
move
So
over.
if they're not moving, they're out of their place. I mean, they're breaking the law, not you. Cause you're in a hurry, they're supposed to move out your way.
Move
What if
over,
they're
well,
going the speed limit?
They
It
gotta
still
move
doesn't
over.
Tailgate a little bit.
So you're not illegal either? When you're speeding?
Well, when you're in the fast lane though, it's different. The speed limit don't require, or don't.
What if they're
go
going
on
the speed limit in the fast lane?
I mean, it's like,
I got you, man.
It's hard to explain, but.
You're illegal too.
He's still supposed to get over and get
Move
out.
over law is in effect.
every lane.
Both of you are illegal.
But see, every lane is the same speed limit.
Mhm.
But if you do the same speed limit in every lane, why is
There's
this
no
a fast lane?
It's a
not.
passing lane.
It's a
Right.
passing lane.
Right, if you're not passing, you're
Right.
supposed to be out of my way.
But how can
But
you
if
be
you're not passing,
if
you
you're not, if you're all doing the same speed limit?
Right.
But I don't have to do the same speed limit as the next guy.
You gotta maintain.
You just gotta maintain, look behind you and see if somebody's going faster, you can get out of their way, and then you
Right.
get back over.
But they did just
Alright.
pass that law by what he's saying though,
Yeah.
because in the fast lane, you always
Yeah.
supposed to move over.
And people still don't do it, they'll just sit there, they even slow down when you get back there, it's like, really? Move over there.
Like,
I seen on Facebook one time, it was an image of like me looking in my mirror and I can read the back of somebody's windshield. They had the words flipped around and it said "move over."
Move over with an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that picture.
I thought about getting that.
So let me just make a point. Okay, let me make one point. Just think about this for a second. All right, and I want you to kind of pay attention to this too. This does make a difference. If I'm driving behind this vehicle, okay, and I'm 2 seconds back, okay, versus 4 seconds back. This is very simple math, boys. If you fail this, you need to just go home.
Is that a direct order?
Don't tell Scott I said that.
Scott?
We all got sitting home.
So listen, how faster are you gonna get there if you're driving 2 seconds behind versus 4?
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
It's not gonna make a difference.
Is that gonna make any difference at all? Zero.
It's just like.
And how much more stress do you have when you're plastered back to the back of somebody? You know what I mean? So just to
I think
give
it's more of a mindset
a
thing.
little bit
Yeah.
more, I know,
Just
but
think, like, faster I get there, faster I get there.
fast you get there. But I'm telling you, watch. If you just try this, try the 4 second thing, okay? Here's what's gonna happen. I'll tell you now, right now. I'm just being honest, okay? You're gonna find people doing this. Because they don't get it. They don't understand this math. They're like, why are you not keeping up with traffic? That's what they think. So you need to speed up, push that car out of the way. But in all honesty, you just maintain that 4 seconds, you know, it doesn't mean you can't get in that fast lane and get going. You just gotta maintain a distance behind it.
It just happened to me Monday coming home from Indiana Beach. It was a car, we coming down Interstate Road. Now, no passing lane, this is no passing lane. This car was so much in a hurry that he passed all 5 of us, almost hit the car coming in the other lane, and he still had to wait at the light. When we got at the light, he was at the light.
There you go. I just had that happen to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I literally was driving to work in Avon. Some of you guys know Avon well. We had a car literally pass me and another person on the shoulder and pull up. And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to like maintain my poise, but I'm going, you're an idiot. I want to choke you. You know, but I'm just driving and I'm like, okay, Kevin, you know, chill. And so I'm driving, but you know what the funny thing is the reason they did that was because we were packed up. It's Rockville Road.
Yeah.
Well, they stayed in that right lane. They're trying to, and I just happened to find a spot and get over in the left. I actually beat them to the stoplight down at 465.
That's exactly what happened.
And I'm like, I maintain a safe distance the whole time. You're tailgating, ticking everybody off on the way,
and putting yourself and everyone else at risk for what?
Just to be at the light.
Just to be at the light, and it's not really gonna yield you that much more. So, you know, honestly, now that I think when you do it for a while, you understand it and you buy into it. It's a better way to drive. Definitely a lot safer, but also less stressful.
Like
Okay.
if you're on a big highway, you know, going a long distance, that's where you can shave off time for speed. But
Yeah.
inside the city, it don't benefit.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
You don't go nowhere fast.
No. Yeah, you're gridlocked, you might as well just,
Hurry up and wait.
yeah, it is. Hurry up and wait. Absolutely.
I'm starting to get like that. Once you're late, you're late.
Yeah.
Chop it up.
Sometimes you get lucky, you hit every green light, or
You're
something.
5 minutes late, you might be 10 minutes.
Guys, I skipped a few little points just because time's sake, and I want to show this short video. This is from AT&T, and we talked about the main things of Smith System driving, okay? But this right here is on distracted driving, okay? I don't know who in here is in a bad habit of texting or even dialing or whatever while you're driving, but hopefully this will kind of make you think again, all right? This is kind of a downer way to end the safety meeting, but it's a good video.
That's where driving with the knee comes into play.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll try for the end. Both hands
My name is Grant Hendricks. I'm a trooper with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I'm at the site of Mariah West's accident. Mariah's vehicle traveled across this median and ended in striking the bridge that you can see behind me. When I got to the scene, her face was disfigured from sliding down the roadway. It's funny, the first thing I noticed about her was her shoes. Lying in the roadway in a large pool of blood, I noticed her shoes and I thought, this is a young girl. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. And at that point is when I noticed her cap and gown was still in her car. She was going to graduate the next day. It was just a really horrific scene. All because of a senseless text message. It's just sad. Sorry, it's just sad.
Ashley would text hundreds of messages every day. That was the way we kept in touch. We would definitely text more than we talked.
Mariah was a multitasker extraordinaire.
She could text better than anyone I know. She could be having one conversation with me, completely focused, while having a text conversation with somebody else.
We'd be at school, at home, movies, bowling, driving.
Not even looking at her phone.
It didn't matter where we were constantly texting. This is my sister. She was looking at my message that I had just sent her. When she looked up, she had clipped the median on the left-hand side of the road. Her truck flipped, and as it was flipping, she was actually ejected through the driver's side door, and she landed in the ditch about 300 feet from her truck. People will tell you over and over again, it's not your fault. But knowing that you were the person that she was talking to when she was killed. Just having a highway patrol officer write in a report that a text message sent at 12:05 is the reason that she is dead is not something that will ever go away. If I could talk to her one last time, I would just say I'm sorry. This is her cell phone that she used in the accident. 4 little letters. That's what killed her.
people don't realize it could just take 3 seconds. I was going to the movies and the car just went directly into a tree and it was a direct collision. I was the passenger. I collided with a tree on my right temple and I was declared dead on the scene 3 times. I used to be able to drive. I used to be able to go for walks. I used to be able to run around town by myself. I used to have a job. I was normal. And all this, I cannot do anymore because they had the text. This is the text message that changed my life forever.
The day before her graduation, my daughter drove to go meet a boy, and she never made it. Today, she would have been 19 years old, exactly.
Mariah never wanted a minute to go by that she wasn't doing something. She wanted to do everything all at one time with friends and family and just having a good time. That's what she loved.
Friends would tell me from school that, you know, the best part of the day at school was Mariah coming down the hall because she'd stop to give everyone a hug.
Okay, guys, in honor of Mariah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mariah.
She had met a guy who played baseball, and one evening she just spontaneously got in her car and said, "Hey, I'm gonna come watch his game." He was texting her to tell her directions of where she needed to go.
And I guess she just looked away for too long. Where are you at, you know? Like that was it.
One of her friends had no idea that she had been in an accident, so he kept texting. We ended up having to send him a text back to say, please stop. She's in critical condition in the hospital and we don't know if she'll even make it.
She always worked her magic, you know, and still to this day, without her being here, she's so much still a part of our lives every day.
She was our sunshine. She really was.
She was.
It's a simple text message. Where are you at? 3 simple words.
She paid the ultimate price for her actions. I've had to do this more than once. Mariah is not the only victim that I've dealt with. And it never gets any easier. And it won't get any easier. What is worth losing your life over? That text message?
Well, that's a downer way to end a safety meeting.
Yeah. But I can tell you, I mean, I've seen that thing Man, I was thinking as I was sitting in that chair, I'm like, how many times do I think I've seen this? Probably 30 times.
It's still just as sad as the first time you've seen it.
It really is, man.
Because I got a habit of, I won't text, but I'll just go, cause you have to slam my
It's
phone.
bad somebody on their phone
Then
talking,
that
it's
just
as bad
ends
as
that
texting.
right there. I'm
I
not
see
doing
people on
that.
their phone all the time talking and they just not paying attention.
Yeah, I say for me, man, you know, I know the temptation, I still do today, cause I got a busy job, I'm always doing stuff. And with a smartphone, I got emails, and there's temptation there, even today with me. But what gets me to put my phone, you know, not reach for it and start looking is realizing, I think we can all sit there and say, yeah, okay, my life, I'll be fine. But when I stop and think about, okay, I could seriously mess up I could kill somebody innocent.
Yeah, somebody's daughter or
That
mom
guy,
or
man, his life has changed forever, and he wasn't the one even texting.
he wasn't even.
And when I think about that, I think that is selfish of me.
Yes.
It's selfish of me. My time's worth more than his value of life or his life or that little girl's life? No. So that to me is what motivates me to don't do it. You know, don't do that. So I don't know. Hopefully that helps you guys. But
I don't pay it either.
I do
Drive
have a
safe.
habit. That's a habit. I'll put my phone in and I'll be
Everybody
right
sign
back.
in?
Alright, Ron, you gonna do the road count today?
No, we're actually, well, I'd actually do, I'm going down to Gateway, but I got one job to do. It's a job that I had to do a couple days ago. Not me and Mike. We actually got blown off. We got blown off the building. I was gonna bring it up, but we was into this, so I didn't bring it up.
you go going off the building.
Literally. Blown. We was on the west wall. Storm came in. I was on like the other floor. He was on, I think 6 or 7 above me, but a little bit further into the wall. I'm on the corner. Fucking just out of nowhere, gust of wind just hit us. We sucked. I'm right here on the edge of the corner.
40 feet
I
out
sucked onto the
above
window.
10th Street.
He hit his suction cup on the window, and we're literally hanging there, holding on to the wall so I don't go out away and around the corner. But started pouring down rain. Our suction stuff started to give, and it just
popped off.
It shot me out probably 30 foot away from the building, slung me around the building, slammed me into the building. I mean, I probably did that seemed like forever, but it probably all went down in like 5 minutes. But the whole road, everybody shut the road down, pedestrian pulled up, blocking traffic. It was
You
crazy.
had to grab onto a street
Light. I was hanging on the street light.
The very tip, hanging onto the street light.
And it was blocking. It was on the west side of the building. The wind was coming down the west wall. It would shoot me out away from the building 30 foot, swing me around on the west or the north side, no wind, so full force 30 foot away from the building. I'm coming in, slamming into the building.
Yeah, it was
all right?
Yeah. And then it would shoot me back out to the west side. The wind would catch me again and fucking fling me out in the street again. Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I went back to the job yesterday to do our last drop, and I couldn't do it. I walked away. I was like, I'll be back tomorrow. I just can't do it. I was nervous. Still nervous that I gotta go back and finish this, not that drop, but another drop. And it's just the mindset of it.
Right now? You going right now?
Yeah. Well, we gotta go buy a shop real quick, but.
Okay.
But yeah.
We're gonna go with you.
Yeah.
I wanna take Jim out there, work out since he hasn't been out there one yet.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, this is a real good one, cause this is
You guys
counter
have,
rates and everything.
everybody keeps you guys have cell phones on you?
Oh, yeah.
You guys ever get have a weather app or anything that gives you like an alert to say, hey, the storm's coming in that way?
Yeah, we watch it. And Scott, he's also good.
We've seen it coming.
But it looks like it's
this drop literally takes,
It's crazy.
this
Scott,
drop
he's
takes
always watching
20
the
minutes
weather
to do.
Sometimes
You
people
beat
go
it,
outside
got
and
about halfway down,
and
started
it's
nozzling,
fine. It's
and
fine.
10 seconds later, it was
Oh, yeah.
gusting
See,
so hard.
I've been working doing projects. I've been doing projects at IPL at their substations. And so, even a hint of, you're in those substations, it's just a giant lightning rod, you know? And they're like, if there even looks like it's coming.
Well, we're surrounded by lightning rods.
Yeah.
And
Well,
lightning
see,
rods.
our
They're saying,
thing is
like I said, they're
already.
saying their process is that if it's, you don't wait for it to come, or you think if it's coming, then clear.
Start clearing.
Clear, and, you know, if it
It's
takes
like,
30 minutes to clear, nobody's working, 30 minutes, then just let
we
it
take
clear.
a lot of chances because what we do, if it could be storming and we could think, you know, sitting at home, oh, today's gonna be a washout. But Scott's the type to where if we got a little bitty freaking half an hour pocket, and if a drop takes us 15 minutes, you better get in there and do a drop. That's us. That's why we got stuck in that. Just because we thought we had that window and the window was smaller than we thought and got us.
Well, yeah, you just can't, weather, you can't.
It's too
And when you're
unpredictable.
downtown,
So
man,
you weren't able to.
those are wind
I
tunnels.
couldn't do nothing.
It's
because
hard.
This is what happened.
You were just holding on.
Yeah, I'm on the corner. Mike's in the wall a little bit more. I mean, we're doing triples.
You can show us when we get out there.
Yeah.
Show us exactly
Yeah.
where you were.
When the wind
But
lifts
his
you up,
ropes
it lifts
wrapped
you.
around mine, and when I lost suction of the building and it took me off the building, then his ropes was wrapped around mine, so I ripped him right off the building with me, and he went right. He didn't go as far because he was in the building a little bit more and up a little higher, but I was down lower and had more for the wind to push me out more.
Did
And I
you
was
ever
in
hear
the-
later about what the wind gusts were that
I
day?
never found out.
No.
It probably felt like a half an hour, but I know it probably was like a 5-minute ordeal, but it happened so quick. But luckily we didn't.
When that wind comes, it lifts
She
you
was
straight
good.
up and makes you
It
feel
was just
weightless.
the unknown, once that suction came down and gave out,
Like a wind tunnel.
I had no idea. And we're hanging on counterweights on this
I've
building.
been on
You said you were
PNC down in Louisville, 56
Yeah, I was about 4 stories up.
What was he?
and
He was
every time
probably
you get on the west
6 or
wall,
7.
that right there happens.
Yeah,
Every
it's a
single
12-story
time.
building,
You get
but yeah,
to
it's
about
great.
maybe the 150
It
foot
took me
mark,
11 years. I mean, I've
and that
never
wind,
had the
you just-
wind.
from the traffic.
I've
from the
been
river,
blown around the corner
everything
before by the
on
wind,
west
but
wall.
never
Right,
had
that's
a
the
chance
temperature.
ever. I mean, it was crazy. And I've never been scared to walk back on his job.
And
Today
it'll just
I'm still a little
lift you
nervous,
up.
but I gotta do it, so.
just take you wherever you wanna go, just like
Yeah,
a spider.
it's
If you
crazy.
used to see a spider come down a web.
It's just,
you know,
I mean, that's a good topic, it's the wind,
Same-
Mother
same
Nature,
rules
so
apply.
unpredictable. I mean, it happened, just like Scott said, I was explaining all to Scott.
If
And
you're not
for us
worried
to
about it,
repel,
I mean, you're paying attention
you know,
where
me
you're
being
going,
4
yeah, it freaks
stories,
you out
him
the first
being,
couple times
you know,
doing it.
6 or 7,
But
at that distance, we could
when
get
you
on the
coming on
ground
the out,
within
you
seconds,
repel
just
down,
repel real
or
fast.
you keep it
But we didn't
straight
have
and
time to
repel.
react,
But
it
you
was
gotta
just that
really
quick,
force
hit
on.
suction
I
up the
mean,
wall
really,
and hold on.
most of the
That's
time
all
when
you
you
can
come
do.
down, we unwrap
Because, I
it.
mean, if I would have let go and tried to unwrap, I would have went. You know what I mean? But it was just a matter of, or actually it was a matter of entering the unknown. Once it blows me off this building, what's gonna happen when I get out there? Because you got a street there, my ropes were all out in the street, pedestrians pulled up and literally blocked the whole intersection off. People were trying to grab our ropes, and they were actually trying to help, but they were making matters worse because all of our ropes were tangled up with each other. I'm hanging onto the street light, which at first I couldn't reach the street light because I was too high. So I was able to rappel down and inch my way down as I'm getting blown around, slamming into the building, blow back out, slam back into the building. I'm trying to inch my way down to get that street light. So when it did finally blow me back out again, I grabbed it and kind of gathered myself a little bit. And I had to get Mike's ropes away from my ropes because I couldn't go nowhere because he was all tangled up on me. So once I got him away from me, then I kind of got blown around a little bit more. I had to get back out to the street light because now my ropes are wrapped around the street light and the pedestrians are pulling the ropes from the ground and they can't pull it down. We need to pull them up to get them unwrapped. And yeah, it was a mess, but we're here to talk about it. So
The best thing is now to try to learn from it.
yeah, I mean it was definitely a wake up call for me because I ain't had no incident happen like that with me for a while. I mean, and never that intense, like I said, not with the wind as strong as it was that day, and it just hit so quick. It's kind of almost undescribable. It's crazy.
That's pushing the wind, pushing you away from it.
But yeah, man, this job, it's right downtown. No, from when we first went over the wall, okay, this building takes us, on the average, it takes me about 15 minutes to do it. And everybody else, 20 roughly. So when we looked at the radar, like the minutes
right on
over the wall. And just from past experiences, we're good. It's just one drive. We were on the wall. Went over the wall, you know, made it all the way down to the fourth floor. So the river.
Yeah, our back
just got us. Like right here on the other side. Yeah. And then there was one comment on Facebook, my wife found it, because I was like, somebody's had to videotape that or got a picture of it or something. And then there was a guy on there, that's probably a random citizen, because he just named off the street intersections, so he didn't name off the building, which is good, because this property manager, she's not for the social media when it comes to her job.
That way you'll be coming up that wall so fast it'll blow hats off or sunglasses off or everything.
Somewhere out there.
As soon as you get on the wall,
You're on somebody's phone.
calm as
Yeah. Oh, dude, we were, from as high as he was up, all the way down, the floors, everybody knew what was going on in that building. It looked like monkeys hanging outside the building, everybody was like, I mean, literally, all kinds of face expressions, they were just like,
Most of the people stopped, pulling on a road.
and all the maintenance guys, the maintenance and the property manager didn't even know the rain was coming. Everybody seen that there was radar, seen something in the radar.
That's why they did the remodel.
And they blew that, like, people
great.
flying everywhere.
Yeah, that was before they did the remodel.
What
It used to be white and
So
black.
we want to do, want to meet me at the shop? It's only like
columns up and down.
3 or 4 minutes from the
And now
shop,
it's
I'll
all
probably
black.
run by the shop first.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we could do that. We're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
Probably get to the shop right now.
Alright, hope you like the drive.
Now I'll shut this
That's
down.
that 4-second thing you got going on.
Morning, Jim.
Good morning.
It's going.
I was up late last night, did you see my email? Not yet.